In the last video, you saw us harvest a bunch of chilies. These are ghost peppers. We are going to make that into chili oil. Let's get cooking. In a small saucepan, we are going to start by adding a cup of oil. So this is the first time we've ever made chili oil before, so we decided to just make it with 1 cup of grapeseed oil. You can double, triple this recipe if needed, but we are just going to try this recipe out with just 1 cup. It is important that whenever you're making an infused oil to always use an unflavored oil so that all the aromas will shine throughout the oil. You are going to add the oil into a saucepan and you're going to leave it at room temperature until we are ready to add our aromatics. Now we are going to go through our aromatics. We have an assortment of aromatics here. We have some onions, green onions, garlic cloves, some small ginger pieces, some bay leaves, and star anise. These aromatics will make the base of the sauce or the chili oil because it just gives it so much body and so much delicious fragrance, and anything is good with onions and garlic, right? Once you have the aromatics prepared, you are now going to add them into this pot and you are going to turn on the heat. You want to do it this way so you don't risk burning all of your aromatics before it releases all its delicious flavors into the oil. So you're going to heat up the oil as you put all of these ingredients in so it reaches that temperature of just slightly cooking the aromatics as it heats up. At this point, you're just going to slowly lower all of the garlic cloves, the onions, the ginger, whatever aromatics that you are using, and just leave it into the oil to start infusing. You'll start to see little bubbles form like this when you start heating up the oil. That is because all of the moisture inside these vegetables, the onions and the garlic, will start to release, making the bubbles. You're going to keep this on the back burner just like this, simmering away for about 1 hour to 2 hours depending on how infused you want it. Okay, so now that that is getting ready, we are going to prepare all of our chilies. We used all these fresh, delicious chilies from our garden. They are Thai chilies. Now you can use any chilies you want. I've seen a lot of recipes that use dried chilies because they simply just don't have access to it, but because we have them, why not use our fresh, delicious Thai chilies? Now normally we don't really measure, but I measured some chilies just for you guys. So this is about a half a cup of the fresh chilies. We are going to just dice it up into little bits of minced chilies. We didn't get rid of the chili seeds because we want the heat. After we've minced them, they actually didn't even make a 1/4 cup, as you can see. Now the rest of these chilies from the garden, we are actually going to put them in our dehydrator and dehydrate them. We grind them up for powdered, ground up, basically like ground chili. Just like if you bought cayenne pepper, we just decided to use our chilies and we are going to dry them up and then grind them into powder. We had a mixture of chilies here. We had our Thai chilies, which are very spicy, and then we have some jalapenos and I believe some ghost peppers too. Just checking back on our oil. This is how it looks about half an hour in. While that's working, Mercy is working on collecting our ghost pepper seeds. We love keeping these seeds because the plants are accustomed to our environment, so they're going to grow out here much better than the first original grow because they are just used to our weather. Whoa, look at that. So this is about 1.5 hours in. You can see that the onions and the garlic are a little bit toasted, but that's all right. We are then going to add some of our fresh chilies into a bowl just like this. Be sure to use a heat-proof bowl because we don't want the hot oil to melt through a plastic bowl or anything like that. Along with the fresh chilies, we're also going to use about a third of a cup of some Szechuan peppercorns. We bought the dry version of these chilies. We're just going to add them to our bowl with the rest of our fresh chilies. Now these chilies, or these little peppercorns, give this really cool numbing sensation when you eat them. It's pretty fun. But obviously if you don't want it, then just leave it out. And then we also added some whole chilies. And now this is where the magic happens. This is the fun part. We're going to pour our hot aromatic oil into the bowl of chilies, and look at that. If you see bubbles like this happening, you're doing it right. All that chili is going to infuse into that oil. You're basically cooking the chilies, but not really. It's just an explosion that is happening in this bowl, and it is totally worth it. We're going to also include all of the crispy, delicious onions and garlic and all of the aromatics in this garlic chili oil that we've made, and just let it sit until it stops boiling and bubbling, and just let it cool in the bowl. Once it's settled down, this is what you get. This is good on literally everything. You can put it on noodles, you can put it on quinoa, rice. It's amazing. I'm so glad that we made this. I hope you try this out and let us know what you think. Make sure you store this in an airtight container and you can use it for everything. And as always, we hope that you enjoyed spending time with us today in the kitchen. We hope that you subscribe, and we will see you on the next video. Bye!